Are we on?
Yeah.
Like we're good? All right. Game 11, Boise State versus Utah State. Back on the Bronco Alumni Show. Got lost there for a minute. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Special
CTE.
guest.
Hold on, wait.
CTE.
Hold on a second,
Go
man. I told you what I was going to do.
Oh, I'm going to warm up.
All right, episode 11. Go.
All right. Game 11, Boise State versus Utah State tonight on the Bronco Alumni Show. Two special guests tonight, Mr. Billy Wingfield and Mr. Jay.
Yeah, that's my dog.
And Mr. Jay Swillie. It's the wide receiver streak continues.
Yeah,
Welcome
we got
to the
a lot
show,
of wide
gentlemen.
receivers on the show this year, to be honest with you.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I want to know why I can't do the intro.
Oh, you want to go
You
for
wanna
it?
go for it.
You
Let's
go
hear
for
it.
it.
Can
Let's
we
hear
run it back?
No, you just do it right now.
just
I
do
want
it
the
now.
music, though. I
Ready?
want the whole background.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll bring it back up.
Okay,
That's
okay.
Jason
Then
Turner
real
on the
time.
end, John Hanigan over here, and we're going to bring it in with Billy.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Bronco Alumni Sports Show. Special guests, Swill and Bill. But more importantly, we've got Primetime John and JT running the ones and twos, and they're ready to go, fired up with the questions, and we're going to get it started. Who wants the red meat? Was that good?
Yeah, that
I
was
liked
good.
it a lot.
That
yeah.
was nice.
I think
Really?
you have a career in
We're
broadcasting.
going to dub that over mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like right over the top, like just have
You're going to
us
get
both
the
our
midnight
voices?
show. If I host the Tonight Show, you can host the one after. So
What,
when I
'cause the
re-
sexy
yeah,
voice?
Yeah, I'll bring you in.
Oh, okay, that's good. I'll give it a shot. All right, man. I wanna see
Stay
what my
tuned
career-
for
right.
Billy.
That's more of an adult show. That,
Right.
you know, adult
After
show.
11.
All right, well.
All right, we're back at it. Sorry.
Let's get back to the task
wait.
at hand.
This is some news that broke. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I think.
All right.
There were
Breaking
some
news.
studies. There were some studies that were released that say that red meat is actually good for you now. I've heard. Did you guys hear this? I know you guys were talking about red
It was
meat.
good, and then it went bad for a while. Now it's back good again.
It's back good again, yeah. And you guys
That
were
makes
just talking
sense.
about
That
red
makes
meat
sense.
earlier, actually,
Yeah.
right?
Protein.
I was more like talking in like the political sense, like
Oh.
red meat for like the topic, like throw the red meat out there.
There's a
for
lot of
interest.
hot topics
There
out
are.
there right
There
now.
are.
But
a lot of red
you
meat
brought
hot
a political sense. I want to get something out local here. Dave
Let's do that.
Beater, the guy running for mayor, Dave Beater,
He's in a runoff.
he started a podcast here.
Did he? Hey.
He went out and bought all the equipment. Like, you could have come down here and rented it from us. Way cheaper. Just
Did you
throw
guys
that
reach out
there.
to him though?
Yeah.
Did you reach out to him?
Not
We're not
Say,
ready
Dave,
to get
we're
into
supporters.
politics. That's not what this show's about.
No.
We're about renting out podcasting.
No, man, we got to get to Dave. Hey, Dave Beater's a good guy, by the
Okay.
way.
I know.
Dave Beater's a good guy. I know in the past we've had some guys come out like Dirk Kempthorne. He came out.
He was in the mayor when I lived here for the first couple of years.
I got to
really?
do my spill. Hey, if you're running for office and you want your ticket to beat the ticket, you need to come on down here to Suds. Make sure you're on the Bronco Sportscast, the Bronco Alumni Show, as seen on the cup here or there. And make your case and let us know what's important to you, what issues you're pushing that, of course, are in the interest of the Boise State fan club, but maybe even on a broader scale. This is where you want to be, this place where it's happening at. This is where you can get your message across.
There you go, yeah.
Come see Jason
Or
and
if
JT.
you want to rent out the equipment, whatever.
Yeah,
We're
any
kinda-
podcast. This is the
Call the
time to
number.
plug
Right.
Driven Production.
Hey, he must have felt the pressure, though,
right?
right? He must have felt the pressure.
Beater?
Yeah, because I've been seeing him on Facebook. Like, I've been getting, updates on my Facebook that I didn't solicit. Like, hey.
Yeah, you got to show up
Buying
if you
those.
want to be seen. I guess
Boosting
that's-
them.
But who told them all to get online? Like, no one gave them any etiquette. They just, bust into your inbox.
Who is this
snap.
here?
How does this Facebook work here? Well, it started
Right.
like 10 years ago, so.
Yeah, and
I
then
got
somebody's editing all the comments and all the things they do, right? Because you'll see somebody put up something like, "Hey man, what are you doing, man? You're all in my inbox. You're talking about this library. I didn't get it. I didn't get an opportunity to vote on the library," and blah blah blah. Blah. It disappears.
It's gone.
Yeah, and replaced with, "Man, I love Dave."
All right, I don't want to cut you off, but we're
right.
delving into politics here. We don't want to do that on this show.
Right.
This is a happy place.
Sorry.
Usually we try to do that
Collegiate
after,
politics. We can do those politics.
after we finish up with religion. We usually jump into politics. You guys.
Let's start with your favorite religion then.
That was a joke, you guys. We're not going to go into religion, but we do have a few topics this evening. So maybe that dip into the political realm as well, such as, well, last week we were talking, in the middle of us talking about how there was going to be an undisclosed location for the Kaepernick tryout and there was no cameras allowed.
Oh, man.
We look up and he's on the TV, like, trying out. And we found out that he changed it live during the show. And it was a
Are
real...
we going to talk Kaepernick? You guys just transitioned
yeah,
out of
yeah.
politics, I thought, like right back into
we'll
politics.
go from
It
politics
just-
to
it
hot
just
button
goes where
issues.
it
Yeah,
goes.
right. Red meat.
Ding, ding.
It's good for you, red meat.
Okay,
So
okay.
apparently.
Round
Man.
one.
All
Fight.
right.
No
I
fighting.
gotta
We're
get
going to
my-
keep it peaceful here, obviously.
Gotta get ready for
Kaepernick.
this.
All right. Go.
Kaepernick? Is that where we're going to?
I don't know. Was that the question?
I've seen lots of varying like opinions on it.
Yeah,
and,
people
like,
really like the Yankees. People like him or they do not
I mean,
like
he
him.
was already like on the tip of people's tongues, and part of
Yeah.
me thinks that he kind of faded away a little bit, and so
And they brought him back to life.
and they brought him back, and but at the same time, me personally, I feel like his protest was within the realm. I mean, it wasn't. There was nothing wrong with it. Like, he was taking a knee
Yeah.
during the American national anthem, something that people do all the time. It's not like, I mean, it was
Wait. People don't always take a knee
Not
in the
he-
middle of
not
the
here in
national
America.
anthem.
A lot of
What are you
people-
Is that
talking
what you're
about,
saying? Or are you
JT?
talking about like people protest?
Well, no, people have done it in the past. It's like,
Well, he was sitting first. That's what got everybody really mad.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, that guy. Remember the long snapper from Texas? He played for he tried out for the Seahawks. He was like a highly decorated military figure, and then went to Texas. So he was probably 30 years old, snapping
Really?
for Texas. Yeah. And he's the one who came and I can't remember his name, but he came and kneeled next to Kaepernick because he was ex-military at a game, and that's kind of what started the kneel.
like, apparently they had a discussion about it before, and he was like, well, kneeling during the national anthem isn't disrespectful to the flag, and it's a way to show people that you have a message behind what you're doing.
I mean,
And-
you can do that, but not in the NFL.
Oh yeah, when you've seen how many Marine commercials, remember when he's fighting the fire dragon, like the Marine, and then at the end he gets his sword. And you guys remember that commercial? It was in like every
They're
football
always
game.
all the Army commercials are fresh.
Army, Navy, Marine, they're advertisers and supporters of the NFL and college football. I mean, how much do you think a flyby costs before a game, just in fuel? What do you think the gas bill is on just one A-10 and what is it, F-16
Jet fuel
flyby
in
that
there.
they do?
Yeah.
You know,
Two
not to
pilots,
mention the labor for the pilots and the ground crew and all that.
coordination, planning.
It's thousands, tens, hundreds, thousands. I don't know. It's a lot of money. They have a lot of money invested in the National Football League, and
Yeah, for sure.
and you know, the NFL comes out because they're the ones accepting the checks. But you might have heard. I've never heard any military complain about his protest. I've heard people like that aren't in the military complaining about the protest, but I don't think too many people are that upset with him out in the real world for that. I mean, there's other reasons
Yeah.
why
For sure.
people could be upset at him, but I don't think his method of protest was that egregious, if you know what I'm saying. So I really don't have any problem with him. I think if he was playing, he'd probably, if he was better, he'd be playing, to be honest with you.
Okay.
True.
I think that's, I mean, what's he going? He's trying out for a backup position right now? Or is he trying to get on the field? Where could he get actually on the
Cap's
field
not
right now?
trying to play anymore, period.
You don't think so?
No, because I tried showing up to a job interview kind of how he just did. And it don't work.
Right.
Like 100% of the time, it's not going to work.
Man, I've been knocking on
So-
these doors for 3 years now.
Right,
Man.
real hard. You know what I mean? Everybody that answer, I come at them aggressive. Like, this is what I'm selling. You buying or no? You know,
Right, right.
It's just not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work.
Don't mind what I wore to the interview. Are you hiring or not?
Right. My white beater offends you?
What can I do for you? What do you need?
Yeah.
Never works, kids.
Hey,
Don't
Colin,
show up
hey,
to interviews
hey,
like Kaepernick does.
Colin is like a really hot button issue because there's so many things going on, right? One, you got a guy that's like, sporting an afro, wearing the Kuta Kinte shirt. He's got things, right? He's got his own agenda that he's on, right? Mm-hmm. And whether or not that's genuine or if that's him, like, trying to find his identity, whatever. We don't know. But then there's the other side, you got the NFL and, like, their whole agenda, which is like, hey, man, we're not here for all those distractions. Like, what we really want you to do is get on the field and throw really good passes to wide open receivers, score touchdowns, and if you can, use your athleticism to go ahead and run for 90 yards if you don't see a guy open. So there's, like, that going on too, right? So, I mean, gosh, it just depends on how and where you want to, like, how you want to deal with this topic, where you want to take it. Because
I think
it's a loaded issue. It's a loaded issue.
Yeah, America's been trying to talk about
ultimately,
like the real issue and for like 100 years.
Well, I like to go back to your job interview.
Right.
If I had that much money, that's how I would show up at job interviews.
If I had that much money,
need this job.
Right. That's where the white beater comes into play, right? If I show up in a white beater with my tattoo showing,
because
yeah.
we've all showed up to job interviews like that, but never with that much money. I don't even know what I would do in the job. I don't know if I would show up.
Think about it. His last speech, he was like, look, I'm ready. I've been ready. For the last 3 years, I've been ready for this management CEO position. When you are ready, ownership, let me know because I will gladly accept your check and manage, the beep out of people whenever, you guys are ready to pay me the check.
I
So,
like it.
for all the people out here recruiting and letting the people know who you report to, whether or not, I'm ready, let them know that this is what it is.
It's like
that doesn't work. That
okay,
doesn't really
we're gonna
work.
conduct
Never.
a job interview.
Ooh, that's good.
He was like, we're gonna conduct the job interview at the library down the street. Come to the library, and then you show up at the CEO's office, like pounding on the door or something, like at the wrong time, and with a camera crew or something like that, And it's like,
guess what? We ain't liking the library like that much.
plans change.
Right. We want to do it at the park.
Yes. Yeah, I haven't been fortunate to come into interviews like that.
Man,
so.
wouldn't that be great, though? Just to come in and be like, nah. HR is not going to sit in on this one. I got my own HR in the back. She'll sit in. And as a matter of fact, the questions you guys want to ask, I switched that all up to the things that are more favorable to me. So when you guys are ready, we'll start at 3. I know we set a time for 1, but we're going to do it at 3. And, when you guys are ready, we'll be there. Like, that doesn't really happen in real life. So
I'm gonna get out of the gym at 6. And then I gotta go pick my kids up at 7.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
right.
I'm gonna grab some food at the house for like 15 minutes
Yeah.
on the way there. So
something light,
if
light,
you can show
light
up.
food.
Like I got a little bit of time.
Yeah, I got a suit, but I'm not going to have time to put it on. I'm going to throw this Kuta Kinte shirt on instead. Yeah. No subliminals. Just,
And it'd be really cool if, like, my partner JT and John wore the Kunta shirt to a job interview.
Yeah.
Just for the confusing
My
factor.
representation. They just going to sit behind me for emotional support.
People don't process things
I feel confident.
like now in our society. They can't see the irony and the fun in things. And, like, we used to make fun of each other, and it was okay, and that was, like, healing. But now it's, like, gone back to, like, don't say anything negative about any group.
Stay in
No
your
matter
lane.
what it is,
Look forward.
and just mind your business and
We
live.
might
so.
get protested against on the basis of us sharing our own thought process right now.
There was a
Yeah, no,
protest
yeah, but
at the
this-
Harvard-Yale game in the middle of the game today. They ran on the field.
For like what was it?
climate change.
What was
Climate
the cause?
change.
What?
Climate change. But in the middle of a
In the middle-
Harvard-Yale game,
See?
like
Yeah.
we're stopping
Right.
the game.
Yeah.
But what does this have to do with climate change? This game.
Nothing.
I do get there's some pretty powerful people at Harvard and Yale. That
But it's
probably
just the
contribute.
platform. The kids want the platform to be able to spread their message and nothing.
That's the problem I
better-
got with Colin, right? You know that you can't show up at the job on Monday and have a cause that's personal to you and say, you know what, man? I know we're having a meeting with the entire organization about the strategic vision of the organization. But when it's my turn, I'm going to get up to the front and turn it into my own presentation that no one's aware of or
Yes.
I
yes.
haven't talked to anybody to hey, you know what, man? I'm going to change all the slides in my presentation to be about what I think is important today. It just doesn't happen. It's not realistic to think
No.
that that's how it works in the workplace. Not saying that's
And I thought he could maneuver a little more strategically in that manner, just because, I mean, whether he wants to be or not, he is a role model. So, I mean, and I understand what he's fighting for. Man, believe me, I understand. I mean,
Oh, I understand.
I
Yeah, I
really
completely
understand.
Well, questions
But-
about that too. Like, what do you really know, Colin? Like, what did you?
just maneuver a little more strategically. But maybe this is a strategy, and I just can't
Well,
see
we're
it.
talking about him right now.
True.
We definitely are.
True.
Yeah. But
And-
we're not
Yeah.
talking about what his purpose and cause was about.
Yeah.
like
At all.
police brutality.
Yeah.
I think
You know,
that
let's talk about
uh,
like the actual
Colin-
cause.
I think Colin is definitely listening to the advice of his publicist and management and
Yeah.
Nike.
yeah, and Nike as well. Yeah.
You
Oh,
threw
who-
that out there on that check.
Well,
Yeah.
Nike is currently his employer.
So
Not that there's anything wrong with that, Nike. If you'd like me to talk about anything, I'm open to suggestions.
Come on the show,
Yeah,
Nike.
absolutely.
Come on the
Yeah,
show,
yeah,
Nike.
yeah,
Sponsorship,
yeah.
of
Come
course.
on,
Send a
Nike.
hat
Of course.
down
Come on,
here.
Nike.
T-shirt.
We will figure something out.
Yeah. Some running
Yeah.
shoes,
You're
Nike.
more than welcome. The invite's open. Hit us on the email inbox. Talk to our agents.
Numbers on the website. I mean,
Suds Sports
right.
Network at gmail.com.
Come on, Nike. What are you doing out there,
Trying
man?
to fly us out
Yeah.
to talk about it. That's whatever. It's
Phil, thank you.
we'd like
In
to see the
advance.
locker room too. It's pretty amazing. So
Nike's locker
Smoothie
room?
bar. No, the
no, they're
University
the
of
marble,
Oregon. The Oregon
what is it, marble.
I've seen the University of Oregon's locker rooms. I had a buddy that plays out there, and shout out to Mike Bellotti,
Oh.
who put that relationship together.
How
with
recently? How recently did you go? Because it changes every couple years.
Yeah.
Oregon. Man, he's gonna throw that out there. huh?
You talking about the one they did
5 years ago, or the update to the update.
Yeah.
They redo the countertops for every home game. So it's
I'll
pretty
just say this: when I
exciting.
went in there, man, they had controllers falling out of the sky. They had a screen, and this is like at least 3+ years ago.
No
Just
doubt.
playing 6+. But
Wasn't that
point
like in
is,
2003 or
at the bleeding
4?
Didn't they have
like caveman. No, it wasn't that far ago. But they did have the bleeding, cutting edge stuff going on there.
you got
And,
locker rooms like Madden video games.
Man, it was
All right.
crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. It's like the Madden story. Yeah, it was like that. It was.
They
I felt bad.
Well, speaking of Madden, is this a good time to bring up turkey bowls? Anybody playing in a turkey bowl?
Yeah, tell us about it, guys. John, you start.
I played a turkey bowl last year. I could not walk until Sunday.
And because John couldn't walk, Jay has never played in a turkey bowl, because that's what happens to guys as they age and think that they can just have random outbursts
Pop
of
up off the
athleticism.
couch.
I
Hey,
actually
all
played
the dads out there,
No.
you cannot pop up off the couch.
Don't do
and
it.
Execute the moves going on out there at full speed.
You guys
Don't
do-
trick yourself
yeah.
into
I
believing it.
actually
Your
played.
wife's going to be upset with you. It's going to be an ACL injury at a minimum, a meniscus injury.
There you go.
It's
There you
not
go.
possible. Don't think that
Days
it's in
off
the
of
realm
work.
possibilities.
You guys
Yeah,
didn't even
just-
ask my stats in the game. I mean, you just go
I
right
played
to
in that
it.
game.
I
got hurt,
know
so
the
I
stats.
One reception for 4 yards. I tackled myself.
Yeah, we couldn't live without hearing those stats. We
Was it
couldn't
the
live
turf
without
monster that got you?
I rolled into the end zone. I wasn't touched.
Oh, it was
Ooh.
a touchdown.
It should have been. I think they
Should
called
have
it.
Should have
What-
been.
what-
Those damn refs.
So what was it called then instead?
I think everybody was so tired at that point. I think it was called game.
Time ran out on the clock.
Hey, it kind of sounds like John was one of those must-play guys.
It was
I,
exhausting.
those
Yeah.
mandatory play
I actually
guys.
played in that game that last year that
You
John's
did?
talking about. Yeah,
Really?
he had no such stats.
He didn't.
He had
There
the
were-
golden.
that was all
sombrero.
made up.
No, that
Fake
was a
news?
reception. I've got witnesses here. There was a catch there.
So you're
Well, I
saying,
don't
JT,
remember.
that this might be a CTE
Maybe.
situation? we're
I,
talking-
I do.
Yeah,
This might be a CTE
it
situation.
happens at all levels of the
All I
game.
remember was D'ing everybody up.
What?
I was playing cornerback.
Oh,
and
JT's
giving him
got
the
one
shiver.
too.
Right off the line.
yeah, right.
Everyone was like, "Damn, man! Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "What? I'm playing defense, man." That's
Right.
I'd like to add that game was played at Boise State on a field way far away from the regular
Auxiliary
field.
field,
Oh, those are still
Auxiliary
nice fields.
field.
Those fields are still sweet.
It's not the
Yeah,
blue,
they're nice.
but
Better than the practice grass we had when we first got here
yeah.
on the north side,
or the practice rooms that we had underneath the stadium.
where they kept the concessions. for the year. Right?
You can get you a free Coke
And Twizzlers
and some film room study,
at the same time.
all at the same time.
Yeah.
But who's really paying attention to that? They got a whole new film room that looks like a theater nowadays. So, does that matter?
Humble beginnings, fellas that are playing now. Like,
Yeah,
I
they should
remember
have-
Cherish
meeting in
it.
the wrestling room my first year. Remember the old wrestling room?
I do.
Remember?
I got a wrestling
That's where
room
team
story.
meetings
Oh
were
yeah,
at.
yeah,
Yeah.
team meetings. Yeah,
Yeah, I got a wrestling room
you
story.
could tell it smelled like a wrestling room in there.
Where was your
Yeah.
individual meeting then? We were under the stadium, where you had to have been under there somewhere. Or did you get a room? A
No,
couple of the
my
groups
first
got
year
rooms.
we weren't. We were in like a room near where the head coach's office was, something like that. I don't remember
Really?
ever going
Is that
under
where
the
the
stadium.
O-lineman? Yeah, I guess we
we
never
needed a
asked
bigger
about the
room.
O-lineman.
We needed
Yeah.
a bigger room. We needed some space. We need space.
Yeah,
as
we had
O-linemen.
like a
Yeah.
27-inch
that
color
you
TV.
rolled in.
Yeah.
on,
That you
on
rolled
the cart.
in, yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
junior high, just like elementary school.
With a
Remember
VCR
that?
on the bottom, and you put the the tape from earlier in the day in there. But I guess what's more
That's-
important than that,
Oh, I was just realizing how old I got, man. I was
that's a real thing.
man,
It's a real thing.
like we was just playing a couple years back, right? And then now I'm just. I mean, I
Couple
ain't old,
decades. It's
but I'm
decades now.
old. I'm
Kinda.
there.
Yeah, VHS. Like when I pull out the VHS, my son says, "Aren't those from the 19s?" I think I've shared that story. Like, yeah,
you
that
gotta
hurt.
get that transferred to DVD at least, maybe a jump drive.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't.
Right. I was thinking I was doing him a favor. Like, let me show you Pops on the VHS. And I went into the box in the garage. And he was like, is that from the 19s?
You still have a VCR?
Yeah, right.
Yes. Inside the same box that I got the VHSs in.
Oh, just
course.
for the highlights.
Yes.
I got
Yes.
it
So I
now.
pulled it all out as a package. And I'm like,
I
man,
do.
we got to hook this up. He's like, man, it takes like, what, 3 cords, 2? Dang, does that even have a remote to it? Anyway, don't date me. Point is,
Oh,
we're talking
you've
about
been
right now.
dated, player.
there
You've
you
That
go.
fast?
dated. Just that fast.
They can
All
look
right.
you up. It doesn't
Next
matter.
topic.
They-
Next
they
topic.
know.
Next topic.
Oh
Well,
man.
let's. I was going down a line here with the all turkey. What are we doing? All turkey bowl team, all fantasy.
That's
team?
what we
was
started
your
off with,
question?
right?
Yeah,
John
yeah.
and the CTE
No,
that he
we
got
gotta
from
move on,
the
yeah.
Turkey Bowl.
Move on from my athletic accomplishments.
Oh, okay. And the one
Or
catch
lack
for 4
thereof.
yards. Yeah, right. That no one saw or
Whatever you want to
witnessed.
call it. It's a workout. All right.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
All-time Turkey Bowl squad.
What does that mean?
Yeah, nobody knows.
So your
Fantasy
fantasy football, like who guys you played with, your favorite players from when you were a kid. Just
Joe Montana.
Yeah, good.
Sorry,
Next,
who-
and who else? There's
On the
there's
all
your
Turkey
quarterback.
Bowl squad?
Yeah, I like it. He's gonna dish.
Yeah, he will. He
You
will.
can't keep everybody about short passes. All your receivers will be happy. You'll get your catches.
So, right. Do you remember, like, the one pass that Joe Montana threw? This is like a good trivia question. So there's this pass that Joe Montana threw, and the reason why it's popular is because that same pass is replicated on the well-known game of Tecmo Bowl. If anybody remembers playing Tecmo Bowl,
yeah.
right? Tecmo Bowl, right?
Are you talking about the pass when you run to the corner of the end zone?
Yes, yes. What was the receiver that caught that pass that Joe Montana threw that's on Tecmo Bowl, like in, 2D graphics?
Oh.
16-bit.
Where he jumps up.
Yeah, where he jumps up.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Who's
I
the
know
receiver that
that.
caught that pass?
Dwight Clark. Right? Is it?
Anyway, John.
Is that? Oh, am I
John
not
wouldn't
right?
know the freaking answer to the question.
John comes.
John
in with
had the Nintendo right when
Right,
it came
Yeah,
out.
Right.
you guys were out practicing, becoming athletes. Somebody was crushing Tecmo Ball.
No,
Yeah.
mine was sitting at
Dang,
the Kmart
that was
for
pretty
like
good.
9 months on layaway. But
John ruined my moment.
I'm sorry.
Freaking
I'm
football
sorry.
nerd.
The dog peed on my Nintendo, if that helps. I had to dry it out with a hair dryer. It was a big problem.
You
man.
said you were a Sega Genesis guy, anyway.
That was my sister's Nintendo. You want to go into the whole, like, how it
Your
all...
sister had a
we
Sega?
all were
No, she got a
gamers.
Nintendo.
Does anybody remember what the Sega did when it turned on? Do you guys remember the words? Like how it came on?
Said Sega.
But did it say Sega? It didn't say Sega.
Sega.
Yeah.
And then there was that blue
Bear.
game. There was that one, like, little maze game if you didn't put a cartridge in. Like,
Oh, you could
it was
hit the
awful.
back door
It was
into the
awful.
yeah.
It was just
Default.
like
2D
Default.
dot moving around.
Default game, yeah.
A dot moving through a blue maze.
I
Sorry.
see where John's fitting in on this podcast.
All right, we've talked about Sega, VCRs. Let's talk about the Charleston since we're on it. Yeah, let's date ourselves here. Yeah.
What's that?
That's a new dance coming out in the 20s.
Really shows how it works.
It's going to be big.
100 years ago.
Yeah, there you go.
The Charleston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it go? Somebody show it to me.
Oh yeah, we took over that genre and
Flappers.
never gave it back.
I believe they were the fancy.
Just
true,
the dance
actually.
culture.
JT knows it so well that he's got to Google it.
I'm trying to find the list of questions I sent you guys earlier.
The
Oh,
one
there
I
you
want to
go.
answer is, what would you do if you didn't get a scholarship to play football?
Ooh,
would you
I like
still
that
play?
one.
Yeah.
That's a
Would
good
you
one.
still play it? If there
Would you
was,
have still played? Would you? I think, of course.
What if you had to pay? What if it cost you money?
That first year I might have been heavily subsidized by the government, but I would trust in myself that I would have probably still got a scholarship. For sure. If I had to walk on somewhere,
Oh.
I'm
No,
taking
what-
somebody's job.
What if you had to pay to play football?
like the whole team. Like
What?
everybody.
Yeah, like throw in $10, man. We gotta like.
No, that
we
was
gotta
the
mow
whole
this-
allure of playing football is to
Yeah,
be
so
able to
what if
pay your
that's
bills
not there?
at the end.
What if that's not there? There's
Yeah,
no
it's not
monetary, like it's extra time you have to take like a hobby.
Or it's like the Baker Mayfield commercials. You gotta like mow the lawn and sweep the stadium up after the game. You gotta like earn your keep here.
But,
I don't know,
you got the
guys.
glory.
I don't know, guys.
I don't know
be
if I
here
like
interviewing with you right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can only imagine what it could be.
Well, okay, let's just go back to what if there was no scholarship involved, and also if there was no
What?
chance at playing the NFL. Like if you were just going to school.
There's
and
no
What?
NFL.
If you, it's just like in high school. If you wanted
Division
to come out
3.
and try.
Don't they
Huh?
call that Division 3?
What if it was like that? Would you still play?
No scholarship.
Would you have still played after high school?
I feel like Scooby Doo. You know,
The J now says no, I wouldn't have. But I mean, I think, didn't you love the game that much where you probably still, I mean, at that point, that was everything. That was the only plan.
negative, Captain.
You want a better word? Okay, what if
The
you
J
got
now says no, I definitely wouldn't
no
have played.
scholarships, but a Division 3 school wants you. You're gonna start and you're gonna play. But that's gonna be it. That's it. You're out here in front of 8 people for the love of the game.
Captain.
I see.
What he said.
Yeah, I never even played, and I wouldn't even play over at the community college.
There's a lot of people who do. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people
there
who
is.
do.
The Weekend Warriors.
I've got a little response to that. It might have looked like this. Wingfield's on the field. He goes left. He goes right. He's running through the alley. He hops a fence. They still don't have him down. He continues to go. Oh, he's headed for the end zone. He's going full speed up the sideline. I don't think they're going to get him today. That would be a touchdown.
Yeah.
I know what about that?
With no scholarship.
Yeah.
Like, let me just
Right.
leave this environment for a little bit. And
Let's better word this.
I'm not saying it
you
was.
could play one play of Division I football, or you could be the all-time whatever you want, passer, receiver, running in Division III.
That's not the point of the question at all. I'm not talking about you're playing against Division III competition or
Oh,
at the
alright.
level.
Okay.
I'm just saying that everybody, like you're just going to school, and it's like a football club, like intramurals, brother. Intramurals, brother.
I don't even know what that means.
What,
I'm not the
Well, back
intramural
when
type
football,
guy.
back when football started, it was just like, it wasn't intramurals, but it was just like a football club, and then you would go and travel, and they would have people play games against each other, or the early NFL. I mean, or early baseball. My grandfather
was, yeah.
turned down a spot on a Major League Baseball team because building elevators paid more money, and he had a family, so he went and built elevators.
Right,
in
he was
LA.
making life decisions.
Yeah. So, but now that'd be out of the question. It'd be like if you could play baseball, you would over anything, right? For the money's sake.
so
I
are you
guess
saying
you
if there's no money in sports?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't-
Then
how
you're
much
not
did you
gonna-
enjoy?
It won't be
not
as
only
entertaining.
not only the game, but the experiences surrounding the game, the camaraderie, the celebrations, the attention, the celebrity, if you will. As small as it got here in Boise, you were household names maybe on a regional level, at least on the West or something like that. I don't know.
Or to drunken kids over on the East Coast in a bar.
Yeah,
Hey, look, I got you.
I mean, is it worth it? Because, can you even put a dollar value on all the extras that came with it?
The experience?
The experience of it, yeah. Just everything that was wrapped up around playing football. I mean,
That's a double. That I mean, I would say, of course, I want all of that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade that for everything, but I know what that costs to get that too. And the me now says, man, don't do it. But like given the opportunity to do it again, I probably would. I mean,
well, yeah.
that's what,
Because especially for me personally, now where nothing came from it financially, and there was and not experiencing the dream of being getting paid to play, like professionally. I would say no, but what if I had made it, then my answer would be different. 100%.
That's one of the things I think that they play on, all of us players, is they know where every single one of us that played wanted to get to one end goal. I don't care what level you were on any of my teams that I played on. Your goal, if you were on the field, anytime I was on the field, was to get to the next level. And that was really the only goal in that team environment. And I think that bred success. But, man, it wasn't easy. It was a hard workouts and just sacrificing a lot of different things, to put in everything to just the program.
Yeah, because with
Sacrificing
all that
schoolwork.
with all that extra that you get, you give up a lot, and you pay a lot for it physically, mentally, all of these things that we know now, looking back, that we heard about them, maybe we didn't care about them. Right. You see all the old guys getting around all rough and knees all busted up and bent over and crooked, walking crooked, and man, that's where we're headed, man.
Right around the corner.
I'd like to also jump in, though, when they say, look at that old guy hobbling there that played football. And then I go, look next to him, his friend who didn't ever play a sport in his life. Old guy hobbling.
True.
Have you ever noticed that? Like, when you get old, you hobble around, whether you played football or not.
Yeah, a little senior shuffle
life is
going
going
on.
to beat you up. So I always found that interesting. I mean,
No
I know your
sudden
body
movements
takes a lot
anymore.
more pain
None.
playing football. But, once you get old, everybody moves slow.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody has a limp.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Let me make sure I got the original question. Like, the original question was...
It don't matter. That's what we're talking about
We're
now.
off the rails now.
Oh, all right.
What?
Bronco Alumni
We
show.
could always clarify the original question.
The original question
Yeah, go
was,
for it.
would
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
played in college without scholarship / shot in the league
Negative.
No.
at all?
So, like, you're just playing for fun? Is that what you're saying?
We
Like, no actual return on the investment of...
Well,
Yeah.
but everything else, like the experiences,
Okay.
the
Camaraderie.
prestige, the
Oh, okay, all that.
the celebrations, the
helmet
fans.
swinging.
The fans are still there.
Mm.
Like, the attention is still there. Everything is hyped as it is.
Yeah.
But
I don't like being in this fake, bizarro world where we
I know.
can't make money off of
I know.
sports.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, right? What is
Simpler
that?
time.
What is that? What is that? Like, there was
Ridiculous.
always...
No,
for me,
but I remember. When did you know football was a sport you wanted to play? That's a question.
that's a great question.
Okay.
Football
Way
was
better.
a sport for me when I realized that all the things inside of me could be externalized and realized on the field. So aggression, I had aggression in me, right? I wanted to get aggression out of me, and a great opportunity to do that was on the field, right? And so for me, it was an opportunity to express what was going on inside of me externally. And so that is what it was. And I guess if the question is like after you did that and did it well, if there was no opportunity to do it, further without the return on investment and all the things you talked about, whether it be the fans, the pandemonium, the interest, the attention, and most importantly, the scholarship to educate yourself for free, would I have done it? And the answer is absolutely not. Right?
I'd have played basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess,
not.
yeah, in this bizarro world, anybody can show up and play anything.
Yep.
Yeah, in this bizarre world, that's a good question.
It's called
though.
kindergarten, man.
Yeah.
They let everybody out on the field do whatever you want.
Well,
Everybody's going to be an astronaut.
Well, I knew I wanted to play football after it was like my second or third year, so I was like 10 or 11.
Really?
And
Did you already have your first major hit prior to that? Like, did you already get your bell
oh
rung?
yeah, we used to run crazy drills in my junior All-American, and where there'd be like 40-yard running head starts and then like T-bone collisions, and like let's see who's gonna make a tackle or who's gonna sell out for this team.
Right.
It was
back
like
in those days.
It was like nutcrackers or whatever you call your drills when you Oklahoma drills. Everyone's got a different name for it.
Yeah.
So
All these drills have been banned now.
So we
Yeah, all these
In
drills
the
are banned.
entire
So
United
it
We
was
should
States
call
of
this
America.
the CTE show.
it was
They'll
after,
be able to see flashes of it. Like, oh gosh.
I think it
see,
was
I don't
my,
even remember
it was probably
that,
my
but
junior
tell me more.
pee wee year, okay? And
Yeah.
we were playing Pico Rivera. It was the La Puente Warriors versus the Pico Rivera Dons in a scrimmage, a preseason scrimmage. And late in the scrimmage, one of our running backs gets hit, like a late dirty hit, and I run over because I'm an offensive lineman. I'm like, what's going on in here? And then somebody comes up and runs and hits me in the back, and then I get up and I
Like,
grab
was it a clean hit in the back? or a
No, it was
spear?
like it was 10 seconds after the whistle blew,
Yeah.
and it was like someone speared me in the back, and I ate dirt
Yeah.
and got up, and I grabbed him from the bottom bar of his face mask and just started like headbutting him with two hands, like as hard as I could.
yeah.
And then the running back who I was coming over for gets in and starts hitting him in his stomach. Like,
Ooh, you guys are jumping
'Cause
him
we were
basically.
smart.
JT is what you're explaining.
he was a smart kid. He didn't hit him in the helmet because he didn't want to bust his hand out.
Yeah, let's lift the face mask up and go for the net.
So then
Only
next thing
makes
you know,
sense.
the La Puente Warriors and the Pico Rivera Dons are having a scrap in the middle of the field, and there's 50 kids on each side just tearing each other's hearts out, and coaches separating people. And then afterwards, our coach grabs us together, and he's like, said something like, "You guys got your balls today," or said something along those lines, and we all went nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they started background checking coaches
So you
shortly there afterwards.
no.
No
No,
felonies.
and then the next day of practice, so the weekend goes by,
That's
and in our
great.
first practice the next week, like the whole team sees me get out of my dad's truck, and I'm walking like 100 yards to the practice field,
Oh, you got a rite of passage now, man.
and
You already know this
everybody
stuff.
started
Yeah.
walking towards me,
Right.
and was like shaking my hand and patted me on the back, and like, man, that was
Yeah.
like, what's up, like, way to go, man, that was sick, like,
That's how
let's
you do
do
it.
that again, yeah.
That's what we
Right.
like in America.
You're the leader
so,
now.
so that's when I knew, and again for the violence.
Oh, that's when you knew you wanted to be.
That's when I knew I wanted to play football.
And that's the type of lineman I wanted on my team,
I know.
for sure.
I didn't realize you were in the program when you were 11.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
Right?
serious.
Did you see? Did you hear that story? We got to the root.
That's
I
the
know.
difference of what football was
day I
like back
earned my
then,
stripes.
and when what football is like now. I
7
think
on
with
7.
kids, right?
Did you
I mean-
draw blood in that whole altercation?
I don't remember. I kind of blacked out.
Yeah,
during
wow.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
I think
Like
the
the
team
Great Ones,
noticed
too.
that.
Yeah.
Like they talked about that on the ride home with their dad.
I was like,
Proud dad moment.
after
There's a man on our team, Dad.
Did you see JT lose it?
JT was a kid on the team with the beard already.
Yeah, right? And the dad was like, he looked over at his son. JT shouldn't be the only one in the middle of that situation. Right?
And then followed his son out there. Guy, you remember the fights we had in Little League growing up? The parents? I remember
was
it was
like-
just in my neighborhood.
So let me say this.
no,
That was
that's-
pre-CTE.
Yeah, that's when you're just trying to take it all in. You're
They-
getting concussions
They didn't
still
even have
out there,
CTE
though.
back then.
So
People
look, let
didn't
me
get
say
it,
that. Look.
Oh, wait a
Look.
minute.
Hey, by the way,
Simpler time.
now that I'm coaching in this new era of coaching, that's called caveman days.
Yes.
That's the term.
Caveman, yeah.
Okay.
So we should, as a group, agree that when we hear things that's like, we call it old school, we should like dub that as caveman. And I didn't know that until the other day. I was like in a facility. I was like, oh man, we do this drill, we do this drill. And one of the younger guys, I'm not gonna say his name because he meant like he had all the best intentions. He was just like, oh yeah, you still do like the caveman drills.
You're the ones that work.
So your natural response is to go JT, right, offline, and they see that as a sign of potential CTE. The new educated athlete,
I
right?
see,
Like,
yeah.
oh, you're a caveman. I'm not a caveman. I'll hit Jade right now with the bat and drag her by her hair. It works. Right? They
I
see
mean-
that as
Moving
the
the
CTE.
kids away from you.
Right?
Yeah. I ain't had that
Basically,
outburst yet.
That's just an FYI for you guys.
The goal is now to mostly just get hit in games, right? I mean, that's really
Yeah.
what you're training your body to be
I
hit.
agree with that, truthfully. Ain't no reason that you should be getting hit 3 times a week to then go the games. You remember how you felt after a game? It's
yeah.
not the same as you feel after practice. I mean, it's a totally different speed. I mean, you're going full speed, but not full speed collisions. So even the minor 1 and 2 hits that you're getting throughout the week, I don't want them. I don't want any of them.
They should
Load
have 'em.
management. You're a
Yeah,
load
yeah,
management
absolutely.
guy.
If you start
absolutely.
paying the kids, then they'll have the
If
ability
you start paying
to
the kids,
load
then it
manage
makes more
themselves.
sense,
They-
right?
I mean, man, how
You
many
shouldn't
have
be
you been
training kids
forced
to
to
go
play
full
hurt?
speed to contact.
Have you been forced to play hurt? I mean, not forced, but I'm
encouraged?
just
Like, what do
saying.
you mean?
Hey, man,
Encouraged?
you think
Like,
you can go today?
Strongly recommend.
Yeah.
Vola mandatory. Like, what are we talking here? It's like a spectrum.
Like somebody might have like arthritis in their pubic bone, but like maybe a coach would like,
Be like, hey man, check it out. Like, I'll hold all these opioids in my left pocket. If you need them, tap me on my right pocket.
Ah, I
but
see.
you can play, right?
Well, we all get arthritis when we're older. That's probably a.
Yeah, no, this was like when
John
you're like
sounds
21
he's
or
got the
22.
speech.
Can he play? I said, can he play?
Man.
Yeah.
But I mean, given the chance to do it again, I most likely would, unfortunately.
I had a great time.
I
man.
did, too.
No regrets.
we all
you know,
did.
met a lot
Yeah.
of great people.
Cheers
had a
to
lot of
that.
good experiences. I'm gonna cheers my water.
Cheers it up.
Oh, okay.
Stay hydrated.
Bronco Alumni show. What's that you guys got there? Little
It's
Modelo?
Modelo time.
Does that work for you?
I love it.
A little Hispanic influence?
Mm-hmm.
What you got over there, John? What you got?
I just have a Coors Light. Just
Yeah.
a little Denver influence
Light.
over here.
Denver influence.
This portion of the podcast is brought to
Yeah,
you
you might-
by Modelo and Coors Light.
Also, it's a good time to mention Suds since we're here.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
They serve that. Here.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true,
they
that's
serve that.
true.
Come on
Yeah.
down to Suds. You can get any of those beers.
All
and-
of
and-
You
your
can even
Modelo.
get some high alkaline water.
Yeah.
Oh, their water is delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Triple filtered.
Right
so
out the-
Yes.
yeah.
Right out the
Yes.
tap.
Come on down.
Hey. Want to get your pH balance?
They have
Back
special
in
taps here.
calibration?
Special taps. So.
We got that for you. Just thought I'd throw that out there. You know, we got health.
Suds Tavern, where dreams come true.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sure don't taste like the
yeah,
water.
matchmaking. Yeah, that's right. You gotta-
Mm.
Is that where we're going next?
No.
So we went from like
No.
politics
Suds.
to like, let's switch from politics to Kaepernick. And then let's go from Kaepernick to.
We're just
like-
dancing around the fire
Yeah.
today. Just-
Yeah.
That's
man,
normally
this is
how it
working too.
goes.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah, that's how it
Suds
rolls.
Tavern over 2 billion served.
2 billion?
2 billion.
Ooh.
Man, get the golden
Holiday
arches out.
plans.
Oh yeah, it is
I mean,
Thanksgiving next
like
week.
right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's on top of us. That's probably why the people aren't in the bar. 'cause
Well,
They
the
know
thing
they're
is
I felt the
guess
pressure just when you guys brought that up. I
I
felt
know.
the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not,
What,
yeah.
that
what you
starts-
got going? Where you going? You going home?
Yeah, JT, where are you
gonna-
going? Like, what
No,
is going on?
we are
man?
going
Like,
to
let us
be.
know.
My wife's family's coming in from Colorado.
Ooh.
Oh, so you should be home cleaning the
They-
house right
they-
now?
no,
Yes.
Nope, they are getting an Airbnb
Ooh, thank
because they
you,
love
Jesus.
us. They
Thank
love us so much.
Man,
Wow.
So what do you guys think about in-laws and the whole Airbnb process? Like, Do you guys like? Are you guys like family guys? Like, hey, come on into the house because this is like a family experience.
You
Or are
want
you
them to
guys-
be comfortable.
Are you?
Yeah, or you
That
guys
was
more
their-
like,
it was
hey,
their
push,
choice.
push, gimme.
Like,
Like,
we can pay for it.
what do you guys
but
subscribe to?
You'll have
Like,
your own house.
I heard what John said, or JT said, which was basically like push.
Yeah.
Airbnb.
He's giving the Heisman.
Give me
No.
space. I know
You
we got a guest
No.
room, but it's not for guests.
They were like,
That's the
you
office.
guys
It's
subscribe
the
to?
office. It's not a guest room.
so I can't work this whole week.
What do you know? Guest room is all filled up this
There's
week.
a bed and a computer in there. I know it's my office.
Right.
I work late hours.
How about you guys? Do you guys subscribe to the whole, push, keep the family out or keep the family in?
When I
No
go
offense,
home,
JT.
I want to just get right back into the family in the neighborhood, and because it's good times every time I go home. Good food.
Yeah.
My grandpa
I've ate some
just
of Annie's
recently.
food. Like Annie's good.
Okay, yeah. So that's
yeah.
like all the days, and then Thanksgiving is just a crowning moment of the whole week. But you're eating good the whole time.
Awesome. So everybody can stay in one household, is what you're saying, and make
no,
the
that's
food
too
together?
many people.
See?
So, but there's multiple households.
Oh, a little push. Okay, John. So, what about you? Do you subscribe to the whole bring everybody into one household?
I
Let's
don't know.
all be a
I like to think I have a tiny house because I don't want people in there, but I just have a tiny
It's
house.
4,000 square feet.
Sorry, we just don't have
it's
the
rough
room.
in here.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
have everybody come over to the,
Garage.
three tiny bedroom apartment and eat food over here. And then they were like, we're going to get an Airbnb. You guys can come over to our place if you
Oh,
want.
that's how they did you, JT? They
Yeah.
big timed you?
Well, no.
Okay,
I mean, I understand.
I get it too.
understand,
Yeah, right.
And I don't blame them. But I
I've
just
seen
want
it
to
done
clarify.
well in apartments.
I just
For
want
those-
to. I just want to clarify. I didn't push anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't?
You know,
Okay.
I'm like a
Okay.
family
It's not
guy.
what we heard.
We're going to mom's house.
It's not the word
Like,
on the
I
street.
know. What is, yeah.
Family, that's a sensitive subject, dog. I gotta come up to my buddy's defense.
Yeah,
Throw 'em
it
under
is,
the
right?
How about them Seahawks?
Beep,
Yeah.
beep.
Or those
beep.
Mets?
Time
Them
for
too.
another commercial break.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
holiday plans, that one went off the rails.
Oh, right.
Okay, so do you put the stuffing in the turkey or do you serve it on the side?
Oh, on the side.
In the turkey.
And it's
what
real
are you
stuffing,
talking
cornbread
about?
stuffing, not the stuff in the
Stouffer's? Yeah,
box,
yeah,
bro.
no,
that
no,
ain't
no, that's
stuffing.
not real.
Everybody out there doing that,
Ooh.
stop doing that.
Well, where do you guys
Cornbread.
come in on the cranberry then?
Yeah, I like to. I can eat them both. The ones with
You know,
the
one-
cranberries in it
the
and
one
the
that
jelly.
Comes out of the
He
I
said
can
with
eat
the
it all.
cranberries in it.
Yeah,
Like, tell me how that works.
In the stuffing. Cranberries in the stuffing.
In the stuffing?
No,
No,
for
In
the
the stuffing?
For the
Don't-
stuffing.
don't
on
cross
the
the
can
street.
that
For
you.
the stuffing.
you
for
guys
the stuffing.
ever
That's a good
make?
trivia question.
You guys
Like,
ever
is it
make
in
your
the stuffing
own
or for?
cranberry sauce?
Don't you have to have a cranberry patch to do something like that?
No, you can buy cranberries from the
Oh,
store.
raw. True.
Oh, there we go.
In
then
the
you-
box.
And you boil them with some sugar and bam, cranberry sauce.
Yeah,
Really?
It's
no.
good.
I make the
So
pie.
you put cranberries in sugar?
I have had those.
You put like a little
That's how
bit
you
of
make
like
this.
a maybe I don't know how much sugar between
We like a lot of sugar.
a quarter cup
Yeah,
and
man, like
3/4 of a
diabetes.
cup or whatever.
Trying to have that effect.
That amount.
like it's similar to making
I want to have the effect.
it's similar to making like marmalade or something like that.
Really? Like, I'll be honest. Like, I've never enjoyed cranberries for any reason.
Not on your stuffing?
Or with
Cran-
vodka?
cranberry
No,
juice
I like
cocktail.
I like my stuffing with stuffing.
That's
no
it?
cranberry. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
with the sweetness on top?
Cranberry sweet? I never had sweet cranberries. You guys have sweet cranberries?
Bro,
you
it's
cook
the
'em.
sauce. Bro, are you playing with me right now?
No.
I don't believe
I'm
it.
dead
I don't believe it.
serious.
We're going to give Bill some cranberries for Thanksgiving
Right.
From the jar, from the can.
as we give thanks to
From
whoever
the can,
created it.
right?
I don't like the way it comes out of the can and looks like a can.
What's
still.
it- what's
Is that
sound
where
like,
the
JT?
slices
Like
in
me.
the circle?
What it sound like? Yep, that's about it. That's about it.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. if my
I can't
aunties
wait
make
to-
anything out of a can. They don't make anything out of a can. I just know
I-
all the cranberries I've ever tasted, I've never enjoyed.
I know they're like bitter, aren't they?
Yeah, it's more like,
bitter.
man, eat those cranberries.
That's
It's
why
like,
you're putting the sugar in
That's
it.
why you put a
Bittersweet.
really sugar.
That's
bittersweet.
I can't
man.
leave the table until I eat these. Like, I'm just gonna swallow them.
know.
All right, fine. I'll swallow them. I'm not gonna eat them, but I'll swallow. Them.
Right.
I'm getting hungry.
You
Mashed
used to
potatoes.
get forced to eat the
What?
cranberry sauce?
Macaroni?
Yeah, man, my aunties
Ham?
don't
Are
play
you a
no
turkey
games.
or ham?
Yeah, my aunties don't play no games.
I think
Eat
it's
your
turkey,
cranberry
but I've
sauce.
eaten a ham too. I don't care. Like whatever's there.
Then what do you do for Christmas then?
Sometimes the ham comes out more.
So the
Christmas,
turkey
right?
on Thanksgiving and the ham on Christmas?
yeah.
Or you just do them both times?
Disclaimer: I don't do any of it. So whatever shows up, it's great.
You're ready to eat it all.
It's fine.
Right.
If it's there, I'm eating
I'm
it.
I'm gonna
thankful-
bring my appetite
Yeah,
to
I'm-
the
I'm
dinner.
Thankful and supportive. See, and then,
Oh,
you
this
get the
is
food.
great,
Yeah.
Susan.
Yeah.
You did good this time.
Great job.
It's Sarah, but yeah, it's
Sarah knows what I meant.
Turkey's kind of dry. Can I get some drink?
yep. Yeah, we
Yeah, it's
usually,
important. Okay.
Oh, here's a question I always argue with my wife.
Okay,
So
let's
do
hear
you eat
I'm not getting in trouble here.
No, it's
tonight.
fine, it's
Right?
fine.
This will be aired.
on holidays? Do you like to eat at like 2 or 3? Or do you like to wait till 7, 8, 9 at night?
Oh, no.
I'm the guy that likes to taste everything.
Yeah, I want to eat early.
At like
Yeah.
noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start noon,
Right.
eat a little bit, take a break.
Yeah. Throw some more
Dessert,
salt
take
in
a
We're
there.
break.
not allowed to do that.
Who's not allowed to do
we
that?
always have to wait till dinner. And I
Who's
just get-
that?
Really?
Yes.
Who does that?
Who imposes
Sets the
these rules that we
This
speak
is,
of?
this is the land I live in now, out here.
Oh.
I don't want to mention names.
Right. The names
man.
will be changed
As,
to protect the
as
innocent.
a kid, I ate earlier on holidays, and
Yeah.
I do not eat
As
early.
you should.
And I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong
No.
for that.
Right.
But
No.
I love my wife.
I'm saying that I'm saying that it's wrong to eat at 7 o'clock at
Okay.
night. What are you supposed to do up until 7 o'clock?
So there's no
That's the
food
thing.
out
No,
all
they
day
put out
long?
hors d'oeuvres
know.
all day long.
I
and
don't
then you
want
fill
crackers
up.
and cheese
Yeah, you fill up on
until
the
7,
crackers
no.
and
Got to
cheese.
pressurize
Yeah.
John to explain this further to us.
I think we know exactly what's going on
Yeah.
here.
We know, yeah.
What's
You
understood
fill
doesn't
up
need
with
to be
crackers and
explained.
cheese, and when the good food comes out, I'm full. It's late. I'm tired anyway.
So from like, you wake up in the morning and eat breakfast,
Yep. We have a good breakfast.
a
here.
good breakfast.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
on
Okay.
Thanksgiving,
That's
what
why
happens?
it holds us out. Yeah, I think
That's what holds
So
us
what
out.
time? So like 9, 10 till 7 o'clock. You're
Is
not
it Sarah? Is that her name?
Yeah,
Sarah?
just
Oh,
snacks.
okay.
Too many snacks.
Sarah.
I
Oh,
wasn't
dude.
talking about Sarah. I was
Sean
talking about
needs a
Susan,
man meal.
who was a different person
Yeah.
who
Prior
happened to eat at
to
7
the
o'clock
real
at night. And I
meal.
was saying that's
Don't
not
do
a good
John
time
like
to
that.
eat.
That's exactly. It's too
That's
late.
all.
Yeah.
That's all
I'm
right.
tired. And
John's
then
a
I end up eating
loving dad
little
and a good
plate.
husband.
Red meat.
He needs a
All
man
right.
meal.
How about that Major League Baseball hot stove?
Talking
talk?
about those Mets, huh? Red meat. Yes.
Oh my.
Everyone's gonna be in trouble when they get home.
Oh,
now,
that's
you
fine.
guys.
That's fine.
Except for me with my water.
Is holiday talk more divisive than religion
No, it's
or
just
politics?
families. Everybody's going through it.
Hey, I'll say, you know what?
There's
Kaepernick talk, religious talk, and like political talk is in the same like hemisphere of top 5 rappers.
Oh yeah. That reminds me. I'm
Everybody has
having
their own.
Kaepernick over for Thanksgiving, so we're just gonna throw it all together. Yeah.
And he's probably going to be eating at around
I'm
2
gonna throw
this year.
I've been here, John. I've been here all morning. We haven't eaten yet.
Right, but I'm ready. I've been ready the last 3 years to eat.
Never mind. Don't
As
come
can be
over.
seen
Yeah.
by my ribs showing.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so whenever you're ready to serve the food, let Susan know.
Yeah, I don't need
Yeah.
him belittling my wife. 'cause it's different. Oh, you're gonna change the venue now. Now we gotta come over to your house.
Right,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
do baby meals.
Service, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
I
bring
don't
the turkey
eat
over.
no
And
greens.
disclaimer, and nobody's
wrapped around-
talking about John's wife. We're
By
talking
the way,
about Susan.
by the way,
Clearly.
His wife's name is Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
we're talking
different
Susan.
lady,
Yeah, yeah,
different lady.
fictitious
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
right?
Just-
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just so there's no confusion.
Not that's-
Right.
Yeah.
Ah, Susan.
All right. Well, we're doing well.
Okay.
We got any questions
That was
left?
good,
or what are we
man.
doing?
Where are we now? We
What
are
are we
at.
doing?
We have.
So-
We're at 53 minutes, you guys. How long are we? When's our cutoff
Let's
time
talk.
right
we
now?
gotta go an hour here.
We're
so
doing an
let's-
hour, hour
Are
15.
you not entertained?
My man Billy is fired up right now.
What
Billy
time?
gets to choose the
What's our
next
time?
topic.
Let's get.
What's our next topic then, Billy?
What's the time?
We're at 53 minutes right now.
minutes?
I think we gotta
Wind
get
it
into
down.
the game at hand.
Oh, the
Maybe that's-
game.
You know,
Oh,
that's
is it
how
going
they-
down? Yeah, I guess that's
What
we're
are
here for.
where are we at with the spread? You said it was 6 or 7.
I started at like 9. It was down to like 7, 9.5, and then it went
So
down.
I got to
to
start
7.
asking additional questions, like what is the money line?
Ooh, you got it. Here we go.
Okay, John's
Straight
working
up.
on that.
Straight up. Oh, I lost it.
While John's working on that money line, JT, can you tell me what you're thinking the game scores will be? Give me a game time score. What you got there?
So final score is what you're asking right now.
That's what I'm
You want
asking.
a halftime score and a final score?
Yeah, let's play parlay. Let's play parlay. Let's go
Okay.
halftime and then let's
Whoa,
go.
whoa, it's down to 5 now.
5.
Yeah,
It changed.
It's been moving. Yeah, it started at 9.5.
See,
Now it's down to
man.
5.5. So not a lot of confidence here.
You got to jump in early if you're a betting guy.
Oh yeah,
I
you got
don't-
to
that's-
get.
What you got, JT? What do you got?
I'll take.
I
Boise
think-
State right now.
Boise State's offense is going to, again, start slow.
Yeah.
I think that's just who they are at this point. So I'm going to say first half is going to be 14-7 Broncos at halftime.
Oh, now
Or
you're
no,
predicting
14-7.
halves?
14-7. I mean,
we're playing the
14-7
parlay.
Aggies. 14-7 Aggies at halftime.
14-7 Aggies.
14-7 Aggies at halftime.
Do we got the freshmen back or not?
Nobody knows who's starting right now, right?
I like how they've
Yeah.
been playing the mystery game with
Yeah.
him, right? Like, you don't get a real injury report on him.
Yeah.
Harson's been real secretive on if he's playing or not. Like, Wyoming, me and my son went, and we had some really good seats, so we got to see the game from a different perspective. It was really good for him. But I thought he was going to be back for that game.
I know he's exciting. He
I
definitely
came in and gave some scores, and
thinking that it was based on Bachmeier.
yeah. Like, Bachmeier, okay, he'll take a shot and hit that, that post corner, that post.
But I think I do always have. Of course, I always think the Broncos are going to win. So I think we're going to have a big second half, and it's going to be a final score of, 36.
a lot of
21. 36-21.
Is that minus Bachmeier or with Bachmeier?
That's just
No,
straight up.
you have
Just
to give
straight
your
up.
prediction and your starting quarterback prediction.
Oh,
There you go.
really?
Yeah, you
Starting
really gotta do
quarterback.
that. Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
parlay.
Because that'll qualify
that's-
some of
that's
my
a tiebreaker.
previous guesstimates.
Quarterback, starter. I think honestly, I'm gonna go with. I'm really embarrassed because I can't remember his name because I think the
You
guy-
can't remember the quarterback.
Henderson.
Henderson.
Oh, all right.
I think
John
Henderson
help,
had the
John
most
help. There's John.
consistent game of the year.
I think he throws the nicest ball out of the three.
I think he throws the nicest ball too, but to the defense.
That's not who you want to throw it to.
Yeah.
Well, they've all thrown picks at this point. Maybe has Cord thrown a pick this year?
I'm just saying, like,
I don't think they let him throw.
the backup guy throws the best picks to the defense. Like, he doesn't just, like, throw picks. He hits them, like, right between the numbers.
Are we talking Cord or Henderson? Which
Henderson.
backup? Okay, third stringer.
Henderson. Like,
the old man.
I'm gonna look right, throw left as if I saw something, but it's more like I looked right because I knew I was gonna throw left, even though I didn't see nothing.
All right.
Yeah, and it just happens to hit the guy with the jerseys on that we don't wear. That's what I see the challenge with.
I thought he had a good game.
Well, it was
to
New
be honest.
Mexico.
But it
though.
was
Let's-
New Mexico.
okay,
It was.
Yeah,
But at the same time,
it was New Mexico.
I mean, this is Utah State. I mean, what?
Utah State was ranked early,
I
Yep.
mean,
and they have
They beat a couple
they have
Pac-12
and they
teams.
have a pretty
Utah
live.
State's solid, yeah.
They have a pretty
solid.
live
you
home
remember
stadium.
playing in Utah State? It ain't the.
Yeah, I had a buddy actually.
This
I went to
ain't
high
that
school
Utah
with.
State,
No,
no,
no.
it's not that
and
at
and
all.
the
It's not
and the
that at
student section I hear is supposed to be pretty nice.
Yeah, the new
over there.
stadium is
It's also
sweet.
called
Yeah.
Merlin.
You remember where
Olsen
the
Stadium.
students were at
Merlin
on
Olsen
us
Stadium.
at the old
Little house on the
stadium,
prairie.
like right
Okay.
behind
No,
the
I
big
don't.
wall, and then the students sat right there, like lifted up. You remember the student section at Utah State?
Let me think. CT.
Yeah,
Next topic. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
that's-
just can't. Yeah, no,
just
I don't
like
know.
that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Gosh, I probably remember in the wrong section anyway.
Described
JT?
it. You described it, Billy, with such detail that I'm picturing them right now.
I was trying
Although I
to,
didn't
like-
remember
Right.
when I first
about
when
it.
you first asked me.
Yeah.
It had to be memorable for me to remember. Like, so
True.
I'll just like detour us really quick, and you guys can get us back on topic. But I remember who. I can't even really say I remember because I'm about to ask a question about the remembrance, the recollection, right? So, who was it that we were playing when Troy something was playing against us.
Troy Edwards.
Edwards, yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I got to share this story. So there was this guy named Trey Edwards, and the fans were like 45 inches behind us at the game.
Right on.
This is the best game. I remember this, right? Of all the different experiences, this is the one I remember. So Troy Edwards had the fans there, and it was like one of those like wet stadiums. And we're going to go off topic a little bit, but the point is we had the D coordinator, and I was a freshman. So I'm sitting there looking at the D coordinator, and it's like the intensity is like super high, and he's drawing up the next defense. And he's like, man, when you see this, you got to do this. When you got to do this, you got to do it. Being a D coordinator. And one of the fans is so close because they're like 45 inches away. He says, hey, D coordinator, when you're drawing up that next defense, make sure you draw Troy Edwards in the end zone. That was the best commentary from a fan I've
And what
ever
was he
heard.
doing that whole afternoon?
He was in the end zone. He scored like 5-6 touchdowns.
yeah,
That's why it made so much sense. And so for me as a true freshman in that experience,
Yeah.
like that was so on point for a friend in a wet stadium to say that. I was laughing at his comment because I didn't know sideline etiquette at that point in time. Which
Yeah,
is
we
you
were
gotta-
young. We were young.
Yeah, like that was
Do you
like
remember going to Rice that year and they beat us? And the fans, they were just giving it to us from the sideline. You don't
No.
remember
The
that?
offense, we
I
only
don't.
played like 14 plays the whole game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it was one
mean,
of
it
those
was
games.
that was a bad. That was one of the worst games that one and watching the North Texas game. I remember like two of the
North
most
Texas was bad. I
two of the
remember-
most
yeah, I
like
got yelled at
disappointing
North
when I was
Texas.
like disappointed.
There was like maybe 408
I was
fans
a
in
freshman
the
for
stadium.
North Texas, I think,
It's
and I
hard to
was
get up for that game. And
and
you
I
come
wasn't
out
playing-
and it's like 11 people out there. It's like,
Yeah.
man, this is like a practice.
like Central Michigan. Remember a couple Central Michigans,
yeah.
the Chippewas,
and then they got
Arkansas
the grass
State,
like 3.5
Where Hart
inches
got
high.
his start at.
Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Really? That's where Hart's got it? No, I
he
remember
went-
Hart was coming in the UCLA game my freshman year and throwing passes.
Throwing a touchdown to Shayla McDonough.
Throwing
yeah.
a touchdown
His,
to Shayla.
his
In the
only
Rose Bowl.
touchdown.
Right.
Both of their only touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Harson came in that
Oh no,
game.
Shaylin might have had another touchdown, but I'm
Maybe.
not sure.
It was rough.
But I know that was Harson's first and only touchdown.
It was, man. Harson came out and, like, you know, he was on fire. He was like the microwave, you know, 30 seconds, bing, he was ready to go. But, John, what do you got over there, man? Sorry, didn't mean to take you on a detour from my last little excerpt.
Oh, I'm just checking in on time, what we look like.
Okay,
That's what we were
Don't be
doing.
calling me out here.
We're at 1 hour this minute. 1 hour
Cool.
and 2 minutes, actually. So we got like maybe another 10, 15. So I gave my scores, my parlay. So first half, final score, and quarterback. That's what we're doing here.
Can you run that back for us one more time so we know?
First half score, final score, starting quarterback.
Is this
That's
on
our
the-
that's
on
our
the betting
parlay.
show?
Yeah.
14-17 in their favor, halftime.
Okay.
Final score was
36,
a lot of points.
Yeah. What do you?
36-21.
No.
I think was
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It is.
absolutely
It is.
wrong.
Yeah,
Next.
yeah. I've learned now after being on the show a few times.
You just
Probably
wait.
going to be real close.
That
Like,
optimism doesn't work out.
I mean, our team can. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do right now as far as their goal, what they set out at the beginning of the season. They can still achieve that.
Well, let's recap. A win,
Like, come on.
and they win the division.
They
They
host-
host
Ain't that all?
Host
That's,
Yeah,
Mountain
that's
West
what's most
Championship.
important, right?
that's
A
all you
win
wanted,
and
right?
win.
At this point in the season was to be able to play for
I
something.
don't know, man. Back when I was playing my, like, depends on what year. Like, my senior year, it was like I wanted to cover the spread. Right? That was most important to me. That is what was most important to me. It's
Or
like,
just
hey,
score
man, are
as
you
many
guys
points as
good?
possible, right? Or just
No.
score.
Yeah,
Or
that.
you just want to
I
specifically
wanted
And
to
cover.
have it-
cover the spread.
Oh, okay.
By scoring as many points as possible normally, because our spreads were like 40 points, 50 points.
And we would cover them, but we would cover them.
I want to reiterate, by halftime, I wanted to cover the spread.
By halftime is the key word there. By half.
Yeah, because that puts everybody who's betting in a very, like, comfortable, relaxed,
Generous
position.
position.
Yeah, right? Like, you know, I'm just gonna say that makes everyone very comfortable.
That makes those benefits that we were kind of talking about earlier a little sweeter. Is that kind of what you're
yeah,
saying?
because
Yeah.
like
Everyone's
I wasn't,
happy.
Everyone's happy,
Yeah.
right? It's
you
like,
go.
what casino are we gonna go to after the game?
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
The community,
Yeah.
Oh man,
Right.
I remember that night.
Hey, remember the robe? Remember the robe? You only get this robe when you spend X many dollars. That's why I wanted to cover the spread.
Man, yeah, I was feeling ill that night. I was probably went to sleep. Went to sleep at about 8 or 9.
Does that count as sleep?
Yeah.
I went to sleep when the sun was all the way up. Go ahead, John. What you got there, man?
I got
Sorry.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm
Nothing?
trying to
All right.
process what's happening.
So man, we need the next generation of Broncos to understand that winning is cool and all, but covering the spread.
Can you just help Suds out by covering the spread?
Yeah,
please?
man, we're gonna bet that spread, man. So like, you know,
Please.
come on,
Please.
let's go, let's go.
Are you going like white man can't jump on me? Like sometimes when you win, you actually lose, and sometimes when you lose, you actually win.
John said it, not me.
Sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie.
John said it.
Would you not go
me.
hard to lose a game? I don't think it's in me.
So
like
now this is
couple
going
million?
to a dark place.
No,
It's maybe going down
I'm
the
just
rabbit hole.
asking.
These
One,
are-
I've never. I know you've never been approached, but I've never been approached to throw a game and take this 500,000. Your
Are
sophomore.
we okay to take this path? for
It's
the-
a lot easier in your defense here to throw a basketball game because there's 5 guys
Right.
that we got to
You
coordinate.
can't just
I mean,
run to the
I
end
can
zone
drop
and
that
turn back
post right
around.
off my chest, really good.
Yeah.
Historically,
Remember they tell us like there's always somebody from the mob on your campus
Yeah.
trying to recruit you.
Yeah.
It's real. I never
I
seen
never
any-
met
never
a
seen
mob
that.
it
member.
seems like basketball, one guy is 20% of the
True.
actual team right there. If I get one of you, it's there's
John's
22
onto
of
something
you.
here.
Yeah.
At the same time, if
I'm
I
from New
had,
York. I used
if
to
I
work-
had
John's
been,
onto something here.
at the same time, if I had been approached, I would definitely not be talking about it right now. My answer would be the same.
Ain't there's no
Right? You look right into the camera, like to be clear.
But
So let
you
me
might
ask
be
this
the one
question.
Airbnb in the house,
I'll ask
though.
it of John, since like the names don't have to be protected to like protect the innocent.
Oh,
If
go
someone
for
came
it.
to you, John, and said, "Hey, that
Yes.
one catch for 4 yards for a touchdown
Yep.
in that turkey ball,
no catch.
if I can turn that into a pass hitting you in the chest and hitting the ground afterwards with no stats to record on your glory, would you do it for just a measly 25 grand?
Well, before let me prep.
By the way, you're eating noodles tonight.
There's a 50-50 chance the ball's bouncing off my chest. But
Anyway.
I mean, full concentration.
Right,
There's a chance.
right.
But I don't know. That's a
25 grand.
that brings up the
Down
paying
payment
the
on the
player.
house.
Like if I'm hungry,
I'm
Yeah.
catching that ball.
or I might let it bounce off my chest. I mean,
Oh.
Yes,
it'll
if
start.
I'm hungry,
hungry.
right? If you got a 2-year-old staring at you
Exactly,
like, hey,
yeah.
Dad, I thought you said, this rec league career was yours going to pan out.
But if I'm playing, I'm playing over here for the team, and I know my needs are taken care of. I know that the pantry's full. Then
you going to catch that ball?
it's I don't even
25
think
grand?
it comes less into play.
What if
Less
you're not
into my
like? What if
mind.
we're not like playoff bound? We don't got a bowl game to look forward to. We just need John to let this bounce off his shoulder pad
But
buckle.
this scenario, let me back you up. You're
Not for the win,
assuming
just-
I'm the number 1 receiver here, and I'm influencing.
Let's
the
call you the
game.
number 4 receiver. Like John, we know they're going
1,
to
2,
you
and
right
3
now.
are hurt, and it's time for the
John.
next man up.
John, you're
that
up.
was our motto.
We're way down the depth chart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
you.
It's
I
on
got
you,
you.
John.
Okay, guys.
No,
Oh, how about those Mets?
Yeah, how
There we
about
go.
the Mets?
All
Let's
right.
just back it off. I remember
right.
I sent you guys this question because my wife asked me this while I was writing this list.
Okay, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
not in my house.
Should I get a holiday wreath for my front door to my apartment? What do you guys think about
I'd say
that?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cheapest way to go, man. It's like $20. Boom. Cheap
Man,
Real
sure.
question is, do
You
you,
gotta
get a
get a
real
tree,
wreath
too.
or do you get the plastic
Oh,
wreath?
no,
I
no
know that
plastic,
was a thing.
no
We're going down
plastic.
the
You're talking
worm.
about real.
I don't like
yeah,
plastic. I'm
rabbit hole, yeah.
biodegradable leaves. Real trees.
Biodegradable. Oh, okay.
Plus, when you get a real one, you know when to take it down when it starts dying. I mean, if the fake
You gonna
one
let it
could
start
go all
dying
year,
before
yeah.
you take it down, John?
Maybe.
You're not gonna put it in the
You
green
gotta
little
leave it-
dumpster
leave it up
inside?
till it
Hey,
gets
I know
crispy.
guys that leave
Okay.
their Christmas
Also,
lights up all year.
okay, you guys, what do you think? So yes on the wreath.
I say yes.
Winter sports, children's updates. You guys have kids that are currently playing sports right now. How are they doing? You want to give them a shout out? What's up going on with that?
No, we don't discuss that.
Jada had a game tonight.
Okay.
How'd she do? Did she win? Did she pull it
Yeah,
off?
they won. I believe they're 3-1 on the season.
Jada's
Congrats,
playing
Jada.
sports.
Congrats on the W.
Congrats, Jada.
Freshman
Jada
at
Swillie out there
Timberline.
killing. Timberline.
And
hey.
Emmy, they won their little
Emmy's
tournament.
a killer out there,
Yeah,
by the
she's-
way. I've seen her.
Yeah, they're both, man.
I heard
I've
they're
been
nice.
blessed. We've all been blessed. so.
Yeah, Emmy's like 6'2" in the 3rd grade.
Oh, yeah,
she's like one of those kids. Like as a parent, I'll say as a parent because as a parent I've seen her. She's one of those kids that you want to ask about her birth certificate. Like,
Oh.
hey.
So she's dunking. She's dunking. Is that
Yeah,
right?
she's that. Lisa Leslie, right? Yeah, but she's 3rd grade. So it's like you see her and you're like, hey, man, my son's getting killed out here.
Hey, just at the high school game today, I said 2 adults and 1 elementary, and the lady looked at me like, "Do you have your card?"
Yeah,
And
let's
then,
just check those
You
birth
know, Haley
certificates really
came
quick.
up like she's
It would
in
make
the
me
6th
feel really
grade.
good about the rest of my Saturday.
Man,
Billy?
just-
Yeah.
What's
So
up
we're
with
doing
your
a number
winter
of
sports
things,
report?
right? Yeah, so winter sports. My son's playing I-9, non-competitive, and that's been going great because everybody gets a trophy, right?
All right, yeah.
And,
hold-
I mean, it's cool.
Are you guys
Hold
in
on, wait a
support of
minute.
what's going on here?
Wait.
I'm supportive.
You guys tried to like roll right over that?
Wait a
I'm
minute.
supportive of
Stop
the kids
it.
playing sports. That's what
Okay,
I'm
that.
supportive of.
I'm
yeah.
just.
JT.
What makes
There
it
you go, JT.
non-competitive though?
Because everybody gets a trophy.
It doesn't matter. The kids know what the score is and know the win-loss record, right?
They do.
Right.
They
The
kids keep
parents
score,
are the
they
ones
do.
that
Kids
are
do
sitting
keep
here
score,
pretending.
but the parents always point over to, hey, it's 8-8. It's a good game.
Hey, once they can count, they're keeping score. That's always been
Yeah.
my theory.
That's true.
I remember my cousin was like in the 3rd grade wanting us to keep score. There's no such thing as non-competitive sports. Who made this up? Is this when you
I-9.
cite-
The parents,
I know,
parents
and I
whose
like the
kids
idea.
didn't make the team or something. The
Yeah.
parents whose kids
gotta
started
be-
the other league.
It's like putting sugar on cranberries, trying to disguise it all.
Right, it's the sugar on cranberry.
Still cranberry.
So hey, but there's a place though, right? There's a place
Still
for this,
bitter.
Because there's
Still
also
so
like kids
bitter.
that won't make rec, right? There's the must plays on rec teams too.
well, don't call it
There's the must play on
non-competitive.
foot.
Just call it the other league. That's making the.
I said I-9, but everybody was
Confusing
like,
everybody.
okay, I-9.
It doesn't make
yeah.
any sense. It doesn't make any sense to have a non-competitive sports league.
Well,
I think
let's-
that's the point that Jay is trying to make. And I agree 100%.
I like when my son gets a trophy.
he can still get a
Laughable,
trophy.
man.
It is.
then
You guys got to have a heart, man. There's this new generation and these millennials and whatever comes after them with their name. Like getting a trophy is a part of
man,
building
Kids, everybody doesn't get a trophy in life.
you guys don't understand.
At
Or
all.
a big house
Jay,
on the beach.
You guys
No,
don't understand.
or-
I've been wrapped up in the performing arts, ballet specifically,
Yeah. My daughter's
and that
a dancer.
is more cutthroat than any sport you and I ever played at that age.
Black Swan.
that pressurizes everything for the kids.
And there's
that
only
bad.
so many roles. I mean, just like in sports, there's only so many roles, but it's at the same time, there's a lot of individual and there's a lot of it's,
All right,
it's
I
a
gotta-
deep
all right.
history and all
I got
that
a
stuff.
hypothetical.
So are you
So-
a pageant dad, like kind
No,
of?
no,
now?
not at all. But
What,
I can wrap my kid. I can do a bun.
Of
I can
course.
make the bun.
You
of
got to
course.
make it tight.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Without
Her
the
hair
vacuum
doesn't
cleaner?
fall out. Her hair did no. Old
Oh,
school,
okay,
bro.
yeah. Oh,
Her hair
okay.
does not fall out during
What's that?
rehearsal. Yeah.
What was
She's,
your- what-
speaking of that,
Yeah.
Ruby, my
Plug.
daughter Ruby, she's going to be debuting at the Morrison Center
Plug.
in December.
Yeah.
Her December 19th, she's going to be performing
December
the
19th.
Nutcracker.
Okay.
Yeah, December 19th is Ruby's first show, and she'll be doing the first show of the whole production and the last one. So she's opening and closing the whole thing down.
Nice, Ruby.
Buy your
So-
tickets now while they're on
and-
sale for $29,995.
Oh,
If
they're
you
more
No,
than
they're
that.
a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
and
no
but she'll
jar.
be performing as a mini variation is the role she's got. She's the Arabian dancer, at the end,
Yeah.
and she'll be in the battle scene.
Does
at
she
the
have any
beginning.
speaking parts?
No, there's no speaking roles in
the Nutcracker?
In the Nutcracker.
It's all
no.
dancing and music.
All dancing. and music.
Of course, that's how I
And everybody
remember it.
gets a
Yeah,
trophy
but my
at
point
the
being, you're looking at me like I'm a little harsh for not wanting to give them trophies, but
No, they
man,
all get a trophy
I mean,
at the end of the Nutcracker.
I mean,
Yeah, if
no.
not a trophy. So
No,
in
but they
I-9,
don't all
if you
get a
don't
part.
get a
Not
trophy-
even they don't even get to. A lot of them, most of them don't even get to rehearse or get a part in
That's
the show.
beast mode, man. That pressurizes the sport.
Yeah,
for
that
kids.
that's,
And so, like in this I-9 league, what they do is it's not necessarily trophies, like you won something every week. It's more so appreciation for you exhibiting certain types of behavior. So it's reinforcing positive behavior. Like this week, hey, my son may be responsible for passing the ball to his teammates.
Oh, see, yeah,
He gets
yeah,
recognized for being a good passer.
That's much better the way you're saying it than what they're.
Right, so I want to qualify that.
cut your kids
so he's just out there playing
the end.
basically, like you would
Playing,
in
but
a
he's being
competitive league.
recognized for not wanting to take shots, right? Like he's a like.
I don't know, but that doesn't make good basketball players, man.
so
If
does
you're-
the kid
if
Somebody's
a
gotta
good
play
basketball
basketball.
player's got to try to score, man.
I don't know. Like, look,
memory.
Shoot
Shoot all day.
Let me say
Because
this.
I used to be that guy who
Who
just
would
wanted
want
to
to watch a
rebound.
game where it's 5 Kobe's on the court?
But-
Nobody's gonna pass.
Man, what I'm saying is I was one of those kids.
if nobody's gonna pass, who wants to watch that game, right?
I
You
like to
got-
play defense and I like to get rebounds. I was a big kid.
But what
and that was my
parent?
thing.
You
But
should
I
join
didn't.
a YMCA men's league. You
But
can still
dude,
do that.
but I
Everybody
wasn't
knows
that good
that
at
kid,
scoring,
right?
I wasn't that good. I wasn't a scorer, man,
Cool.
and it cost me
But
minutes.
what if
And
you happen to be right under the rim and being the tallest, one of the tallest kids?
Yeah, but just put
and
you
you
under
just
the
happen
rim.
to be open.
If you were on my team, I would tell you to never shoot. Just stand there. Get the ball.
Get
Give it-
big, put your hands
the
up.
boards.
Well, but if there's big guys on your team that can board and score, then where are you at after that?
But look,
Then you're
so
a backup. You
Yeah,
just
you're
got
on
beat out by your position.
junior
Think about this,
varsity.
there's 5 players
hey,
out there
C
playing,
team.
which means there's 20 parents out there watching. What 18 parents want to watch the 2-parent kid who's doing this number, right? Just got the head down. I got all the handles. I mean, I can take the whole team. I know they're open, but
I mean,
like,
but that's
watch
not
me.
all competitive sports, bro. I mean, that's teamwork, man. You didn't compete in a non-competitive league.
I just want my son to know that it exists. Like, we could either compete on this level, or we can go to the rec level, or we can go to like the
'Cause it's
club.
for
level.
Didn't I
everybody,
give you
right?
shout-outs for
Yeah,
catching
just
passes?
right? Because
Everybody.
I don't want to say, hey, son, club, it's everything. You know, you got to live the dream. No, there's rec. You know, you can do this, or there's like non-competitive where you're just out there to high five everybody after it's over and say, hey, we got a good workout in.
Well, I want to say one thing also. The specialization is something I don't agree with right now. I think
agree
we're
with-
all multi-sport athletes who
Yeah.
thrived because of it.
Well, thank you. That's very generous of
Right.
you down there.
So
Hey, what is the most to that point? What is the most outside of the circle of traditional sport that you played? Right?
oh, okay, I got that. I got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
You would never know that, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but you didn't play that till you were an adult.
I was an adult when I
You didn't
started.
play it when you were 12.
Yeah.
No, but he just asked me the one I
Just
the
out
one
of
I
the
ever
realm, yeah,
played.
right.
Well, I guess
that-
the one game you kind of played Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in a way.
Yeah, when I was headbutting.
Yeah,
people.
yeah, when you're
There's
fighting.
no
people.
headbutting in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Nah,
It's
yeah.
all about
yeah,
like
yeah.
using other people's force against them to
Or trying to
Leverage.
leverage. Yeah.
break their arm or render them
Oh, you were doing
unconscious.
the Horace Gracie
Yeah,
school
exactly.
of jiu-jitsu.
I remember
Exactly.
Isn't that just called fighting?
No.
Not really.
Yeah, they
do
do
that?
it. Yeah, not no.
Horace
is.
Gracie when he first
Slowly
got
put
started.
leverage and snap your elbow back.
Right.
That's
Punch
not
me.
how I fought growing up.
Psych, elbow break.
I don't do it anymore,
I
but
mean, they're-
I'm really trying to get back into it, man, because
Yeah,
it's the
good,
only way I
man.
can trick
So
myself
let's
into
stay on that
working
path.
out
Let's stay on
anymore.
that path.
Yeah,
like,
I don't-
did you ever
no more.
play any like non-traditional sports? So like football, baseball, soccer.
Track. Basketball. No.
Outside of that, you never did anything different.
No. Because those probably would entailed like extra money. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just
and there's
football,
that.
basketball, and track were free. All you had to do was show up and
You're on.
compete. Yeah, right.
Okay, John.
I've only played
The
other.
traditional sports.
Yeah, no, I've only played outside traditional sport. I mean, I played.
What about the sport where you found out you didn't have any rhythm, John? It's not sport, but it,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
John's playing high, go get it.
Oh, but you were gonna try to come at me?
What was you
'Cause
doing,
Cause
John?
I could tap dance. Is that what
Yeah,
you were gonna
tap
do?
dance.
Oh, John was
yeah.
a tap dance. He wasn't going to
Sweet
bring that
feet,
up.
Hanigan,
He wasn't even
huh?
going to bring it up. He wasn't even
They
going to bring
weren't
it up.
sweet. I had no rhythm.
Oh, okay.
The smoky
You did
lady
some-
that taught me would be like, John, you don't have any rhythm. You must listen to them. So yeah, a little trauma from my childhood.
John, you tap dance though?
I got to meet our like when I was like 5th grade. I was hanging out with the running back of the high school team because he was taking ballet. So
Really?
that made me feel better about like, look at this guy. He's running on Friday nights.
Right, yeah, right? Yeah,
And he
yeah,
looked
yeah.
at me like I ain't doing tap.
Right. yeah.
Like,
Wow.
so I get it. I think he ended up on MTV The Grind. Actually, that same.
Wow,
ended up-
okay,
yeah,
high
he
point,
could
high
dance.
point.
He could move. He
Really?
Could, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he was. I don't think he loved football, but he was successful.
Right, that's
I
awesome.
remember
all
that
that
look
matters.
he gave me. That look of disappointment. It's like
When he
Okay,
saw you in the
so-
class.
he's like, son, you're not gonna play.
John, your kids' winter sports update.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Well, I coached the Firehawks today to 18-14 victory. So.
Oh,
Dylan
congratulations.
Nice.
coach, yeah.
Nice.
The basketball gods were pleased.
I just rotated them. I kept everybody fresh.
So it wasn't about the strategery
Constant
behind your
rotation.
coaching.
Well, I yelled
It was
hands
half
up,
rotation.
big hands the whole
No,
time.
Tell
Hands
them
hands.
about, tell 'em
Big
about the
hands?
big halftime adjustment.
Oh, we went to full court pressure. We went full
Oh,
court.
okay.
They
You're
had a
one of
little
those
bit too
dads,
much
huh?
energy at halftime.
One of those dads. Huh? We're down. The pressure's on.
Hey, you gotta
Harassment.
take your
Harassment.
opportunity.
Aggression.
That's nice.
Stay close to your guy.
They want to do it. They were forced into it. Of
course they wanna do
In
it.
all honesty, they probably started doing it in the middle of the second quarter. But
What-
John's
what
like
time do
playing
you
one of
guys
those
play?
teams
Early?
that like the coach tells them to come out and hack. Like, hey,
Ugh.
be aggressive.
No, we've explained though. We watched the game before. I explained how you would foul. Like it's a 1-2 point game. They have the ball. You need to foul them. I
Yes.
mean, it's
Yeah.
And not let them
This-
score
this-
to make a 3-point play.
This is a time thing, boys.
Yes.
They got
Yeah.
10 seconds. They got a
Okay.
2-point lead.
Just
Tackle
making
him.
Sure you're not coaching the
No,
hack-a-shack.
I'm not.
Okay.
We're not evil. No, we let them run. The
Okay.
refs, most of the refs let them play.
Really?
Yeah, I
It looks
bet.
like- my
I
son.
mean, let them be kids.
My
Why
That
son-
looks
not?
like a tackle.
Yeah, my son's like a defensive back out there. He like slap your hands a few times. and
Right.
come in and yeah.
The hack-a-shack I was talking about.
It's good. Well, if they're not going to call it, I mean, you can only play to the refs. So
Right.
We do have a saying on my team called like, no blaming the refs. The refs are the refs.
Oh, that's good, that's
Whatever
good,
the call
yeah.
is the call. Like, if you think it was a bad call, put your head down and get the ball back.
Keep
like,
playing,
like,
right.
there's
That's good.
no like
I'm glad to hear that.
because we've gotten into that a little bit.
Okay.
So. All right, we're gonna keep going with the refs, huh? Keep it going all day, all night. And then all right, it's me and you. It's me and Swillie.
I didn't give
show.
a prediction, but I'm probably not gonna on the game. But if for some reason, fellas, you're in a. Do they gotta go in blackout with YouTube and things? Do they gotta not have their cell phones? I don't know how it is. But if you for some reason watching this show, show up, fellas. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I mean, I
Come
don't
on,
think they
fellas.
need motivation. It's all there.
It's there, right in front of
It's
them. Go
right-
ahead and take it. Take it, bring it back here,
Yep.
and continue on.
It doesn't have
We
to
all
be
believe
pretty.
in you. I
Yeah.
know we all believe in you. Let's
21-20?
get it done. Oh, I was thinking like a 24 to 20.
Like sweating it.
Yeah,
But
28-24.
I also wanted to take a minute to clarify.
28-24. That's it.
there you go.
John, did you get your score
I
in?
said 21-20.
Okay. So now we all got the scores in. I just wanted to clarify on something that I was talking about last week about not really taking my schoolwork seriously at the time. And at this whole junction, when we're talking about paying people to play, like we weren't there back then. And by doing that, I was basically taking what the currency they were paying me in, and like throwing it out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't, like it'd be like shredding your paycheck at the end of the week or what have you. So that was definitely a bad decision on my part. And
Sure.
Lessons, kid.
if I could have gone back to do it again, I just didn't want to think that I was making light of that because it was a big decision in my life to do that. And if I had it over again, I would definitely make that decision differently. But who knows? Maybe without that happening, this podcast wouldn't even exist, right? So, I mean,
Oh, is this the everything happens for a reason part of the
I mean,
show?
And we were, I say kids because,
oh yeah,
I thought I was young at the time. And,
At
people
what
make
time? I'm sorry, I'm back.
18 through 22. and just
Is that the
not
college
taking
years?
school as serious as we should have, and putting maybe other things that brought us here as the priority in our lives. I did.
Not
I
that you
started
weren't-
off strong, but then
Well,
You
you
know,
were
that's what I was
encouraged,
saying, man. You was like a
Football
4.2 student, man.
right? Not that you
Something
weren't
crazy.
encouraged to do so, right?
yes. But it's
So-
hard to do both.
Yeah, it is. It's almost impossible if you want to make significant contributions to the team to put school before football. It's almost impossible. Despite
And go to a party.
parents, kids, if you're listening, despite what any college coach tells you, it's almost impossible. So just know,
Not almost. It is impossible.
yeah.
Or you can get, there's certain degrees that you can just, but you're not going to get the degree that you want first, for sure.
No.
You're not getting an engineering degree I mean, I guess you
That's a
can get.
good point. No. That's a
You're-
great point. You need to get an engineering degree. You need to get a degree in business.
All of those ones that they say you can't because
Accounting.
of schedule
Don't get a
conflicts.
degree in communications. Don't get a degree in sociology. Don't. I mean, just say it. Like that's really.
Unless you have a plan, because there are pathways to use
That's a good point too.
a communications
yeah, that's fair.
degree.
That's super fair.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
mostly like
yeah.
who you know and not what you know.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We have to use it too.
You
You have to
grind
position
and,
yourself
yeah.
and
That's
know
very
where
good.
you're going to
Work
be able
the
to
midnight
use it.
shift on the local
Don't go
radio station.
trying to apply to.
Yeah, right. Trying
To-
to start a
Right.
podcast.
You
Yeah,
can't.
there you go.
You can't apply to Tesla with your communications degree. Just know that you're not going to work at.
I can't design the car of the future.
No, you cannot.
No.
Can't design, but you might be able to talk about it with
Yeah.
a communications
Yeah.
Yeah,
degree.
but there's
right?
a lot of guys waiting in line to talk about it. There's only a few waiting in line to
Yeah, I don't know if
design
you
it.
need a degree to go talk about it,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
you could just show up and
Well,
you know,
Get on YouTube
That's,
and talk
that's all
about
we're
anything.
doing. That's all we're
Right.
doing is doing what we love and talking about
talking
what we
about it.
love and the people that we love,
True
right?
story.
So,
Right.
Billy, on that note, like you got something working on the side that I'm asking you to
elaborate a bit
elaborate
on
on
that. Yeah,
before we
man.
wrap
So
this
like
up.
the reason why I'm looking like this for the interview tonight is because from about 12 to 6, I've been working with kids out in the community in the Treasure Valley to try to build a better presence and a better awareness and build football and the sport as a whole in the Treasure Valley. So today we were out working with D1, who's heavily coordinated. And
Who runs
collaborated
D1,
with.
right? Who runs D1?
Yeah, so there's Tanner, there's a couple of the guys back there, there's guys that's helping with training, Chaz Anderson, but ultimately I come by way of that connection through Zimbransky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like part of the ownership structure there. And the idea is bringing D1, who brings that speed training, off the field, specialized training, and some of the things that we don't talk about as athletes that parents may not have an awareness about in terms of like what athletes experience in terms of training table. Like you've had your ankles wrapped before, you've had stretches done, you've had rehabilitation done. Those are the guys that we don't talk about. but that's-
Recruiting.
that's another piece of it. But more so like that health, care, development, and in 2019 what's big is that psychological preparedness for the game. So that's something else that's going on over at D1. And so really that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is the things that you guys have heard about in the past, the 501c3, on and off the field preparation for playing, as well as showcasing their talents. So off the field is the academic preparation that we talked about a bit today, and we made fun of it in terms of don't go get a communications degree. But if you have the opportunity to get free education, why not be an engineer? Right?
Yeah.
That's the thought we need to start getting into these kids' minds, that, yeah, you play sports as a vehicle to essentially get prepared academically for life and not the other way around.
Right.
I know a lot of us came into the program thinking that we're getting prepared athletically for what essentially I learned to be,
A pipe dream.
well, not necessarily a pipe dream, but really like 90% of the guys on the NFL football field are getting a collective bargaining agreement contract, which is essentially year one, $150,000 after taxes is X amount, And then year 2, 250,000, which after taxes is X amount.
Good
And
money for the year, not good money for life.
Right, right. And so understanding that those are the dynamics of the progressive path when you're playing sports. Whereas I could ride a desk as an engineer for 150 grand over a period of 30 years versus me going out on the field and bumping my head for 250,000.
Well, plus, it's only going to be there a year, 2, 3.
Yeah, you
Football's
got to
not
make
gonna be
5 to
there
get
for
a
long.
pension,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that's what we've been doing. So to sum all that up, we've been partnering with D1. They've been helping us out, in terms of some of the things we're doing, developing the guys in specialized areas. And then there's the core of what we're doing, which is on the field, off the field development. Off the field, we got some academic preparation things going on in terms of getting guys prepped in core subject areas, teaching them how to take tests and ACTs, SATs. And then ultimately what I like to do in all these partnerships that we've been putting together is by the end of summer put on some type of showcase where we're putting these kids on display, not necessarily just focus on their academic or athletic development per se, but more so saying, hey, this is a well-rounded kid. We've got him on the field doing the things with the guys that know what they're doing and teaching them all the ins and outs. We got him off the field doing the right things, teaching them the ins and outs, and we want to put them on display for you guys. So that's what I'm putting my time and attention into. It's called Idaho Rising Stars. We're partnering up with some of the guys doing specialized training as well as developing these club teams out here that are doing 7-on-7 to travel them with. And that's something that parents will become more aware of if they haven't heard about it. And
How do they find out about it?
How do they find out about it?
Yeah. What's your Twitter handle? What's your Facebook and Instagram and your
Right.
website?
TikTok.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate that.
YouTube.
That's good. That's good. So right now, it's Idaho Rising Stars. You'll find a connect to Idaho Rising Stars through one of 2 avenues. That's through Triple Threat 7-on-7 or Evolution 7-on-7. And again, the idea is with Idaho Rising Stars to make it all inclusive, on the field, off the field, and showcasing them. Anybody can participate. Anybody can show up. You don't have to be a part of the club or travel squad per se. This is really making sure that everyone gets an opportunity to improve and that we're building the sport and the athletes in the Treasure Valley to go out and to compete on
In
regional scale.
non-competitive leagues. All
No,
across
no,
America.
it's not non-competitive, by the way. Non-competitive was the example for my son who's playing basketball. This is strictly competitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
the
It's a
other
step
side.
above the flag football leagues and rec leagues and stuff like that. So that's why we're making sure that we also have a pool of athletes that can come and get better and train so that we're not turning anyone away who has an aspiration of going on and competing at a regional level and seeing guys in, neighboring states. Idaho's the hub, right? Neighboring states being Vegas, Washington, Salt Lake, Utah, or Utah in general, Montana guys coming down. And so that's the idea, is getting our kids here in the Treasure Valley ready to go compete and understand who they're competing with and traveling them to go see them so that they know what it takes.
That's Idaho Rising Stars.
That's Idaho Rising Stars.
D1.
That's D1.
And
That's Triple Threat.
Triple Threat.
7-on-7's club. That's traveling.
Yeah, okay.
That's Evolution 7-on-7.
Evolution. You heard it here. Billy's got all your training needs.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Get at him if you want your kid to be a superior student athlete in the
Yeah.
real sense of the word. Where they're
What it's
showcasing
what it's really supposed to mean.
what the kid can do on and off the field.
Absolutely, and we're encouraging parents to get involved too. I think one of the most important things that I want to add into this before we ending this thing is that there's a lot of dads out here, loving dads, who want to do the best for their kid, right? I'm one of those loving dads. And this is an avenue for them to also be a part of a group that can not only develop the kid on and off the field, but also be sort of a family to let them know, hey, this is what you can come to expect. Understanding what you're getting into in terms of, setting your kid up to go to the next level in college and playing and the politics and the things you guys here is alluding to. These nuances are important for them to understand as well. And So we're just putting together a comprehensive, holistic introduction to all things next level, so that parents are ready, they understand what they're in for, and the kids get the best experience and enjoy the game.
Well, fellas, I think we're just about getting ready to wrap it up right now.
Rex Life Raj, he'll be here on Tuesday the 26th.
Come out to the show.
I
I think
think
tickets-
it's time to freestyle. We got to freestyle.
Former
We gotta freestyle about the tickets.
Former Bronco alumni, offensive
No?
lineman
All right, never
Faraji Wright,
we hear
also
some more
known
Faraji?
as Rex Life Raj, will be performing at the Shredder this week. So all you Bronco
All
fans,
ages.
all ages. Would they
Really, it's
$13 tickets?
Yeah, they're $13, $14.
Give us a sample. Hopefully we get flagged by YouTube for this, and they let them know that we exist.
Hey, they're using your music out there,
Who?
Yeah.
but I'll be there. I don't know
I'm
who
not,
that
gonna
is.
I'm not gonna let my daughter go to anything that sounds sexy.
I'm going with mine, so
Okay. In that case,
Yeah,
in that
no,
case,
Chaperone
okay.
it.
All right.
so to speak.
There you go.
You gonna
Well,
walk
final
in too?
thoughts, Jay? Any other final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Who we want on for next week?
Oh, check this out. Okay, day
Let's
after
hear it.
Thanksgiving, I already have I have an announcement to make.
Here we go. Whoa.
You're welcome.
Right now, thank you. David Michael will be co-hosting with me. John Hanigan will be in Colorado. Are you gonna at least go to the game?
I'll be near it. Yeah,
Near-
I'm
he'll
looking
be
into
near
it.
the
Are you
game.
gonna call in?
Yes, he's gonna give us a
Nice, man.
situation.
That's
Are
what's
you
up.
gonna please go to the parking lot? Give us
Yeah.
a tailgate
I'll at least
picture.
find their Suds down there.
Something.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
just go live.
Something.
You just gotta go live.
Yeah.
Wherever
Yeah.
you're at,
Oh
go
yeah.
live.
We'll coordinate it all. But David
Awesome.
Michael will be my co-host, and I'm working on guests right
Special
now.
Friday.
Working on guests. So look, I got one. I
Thank you,
talked
David.
To,
Shout out to David Michael and Rockin' Armor. He's got a sweet setup going on right
Yeah,
now.
hey,
Yeah.
D-Mike, when
There you
you're
go.
here, I got a question, man. Let us know who are the best athletes to send your way. Is it all athletes, or is it like guys with more like a running back specialty, or like give us more information about who we should be sending.
Yeah,
with.
we
Let's get
will.
questions
Well,
every
we're gonna
day.
hit him up with all the questions,
Yeah, yeah, put
and
him
you
under
guys feel
pressure.
free to
Put him
come
under
down.
pressure.
He'll be here, so
Yeah.
you can always
Really?
chat it up after, before, whatever you guys
Sure.
want to do.
And then I got somebody that I talked to about the show tonight that I want to recommend as a guest for the next shows to come.
Oh, please drop it on us. I'll
Drop
try to get a hold of him.
The name is Jared Zimbransky.
I hit him up earlier this
course.
season. Is he going to be in town? That's the question.
I didn't ask him all the details. I just told him what I was on my way to go do in my
Oh.
conversation with him. I wasn't trying to drive and talk on the phone,
I hear
so I
you,
had to get him
yeah.
off the line. But what I did tell him is that I'm going to mention him tonight as one of the guests that needs to come on. Like last time, I think I was on here before we had the camera going. I mentioned Ryan Dimwitty.
Yeah.
And I think he actually made it.
He
So,
did. Yeah, he made it. He was our first guest, actually.
There you
Yeah.
go, right? So
Thank
Jared
you, Ryan.
Zimbransky,
Shout out.
right?
I know Ross Kelly, owner of Suds, is currently up there visiting. I'm sure
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
they're having a good
Did they
time.
make it to the
Ross's
Grey Cup?
birthday. What?
Did they
Oh,
make it to the Grey Cup?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm not
I
certain.
don't. Yeah.
I know it's Ross's birthday weekend, so happy birthday, Ross.
Oh, they're doing it big up there.
Thanks
I know.
Turn up.
Thanks for letting us come out and do this show.
For sure.
As usual.
Yeah,
Suds
appreciate
Tavern.
Shutting it down.
Ross Kelly, Scott Burney. Thank you so much. Thank you, Faraji Wright, for putting this sweet, sweet music together.
Man.
Yeah,
Everybody get down there to that show. We got
Yes.
the Nutcracker December 19th through the 23rd. Go down and see that because Ruby needs your
Please.
support.
I think I'm
And,
gonna go get me a ticket and go down there, man.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I
you
kind of
guys-
like his vibe.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kid is nice, man.
All right, we're gonna let Raj take us out, I guess.
Take us out, Raj.
You tryna get on to get on.
Get on.
We do not condone a Debbie Downer.